And for more on the situation, joining me now live is former Israeli ambassador to Australia, Mark Sofer. Mark, I appreciate your time. As we've just heard, no movement yet on Australia providing military support to Israel. But what should Australia be doing to help?
Well, I think that the Australian people, first and foremost, do understand the horrendous situation that we've been thrust into, the massacre, the carnage that was unleashed on innocent men, women and children just a couple of days ago, or yesterday actually, and the abduction of literally babies and elderly women into Gaza. We now are talking of about 700 civilians massacred, and the figure will definitely rise because there are a number in hospitals who are very, very seriously wounded indeed. And so we don't know what the final figure will be, of course, but we're at war, and there's no two ways about it. This isn't a skirmish. This isn't another tit for tat, another operation. This is a war, and you enter a war to win it. And we do expect and hope that the Australian government will understand that all the way down the line.
Is a ground invasion of Gaza by Israel now realistically the only way forward, the only way for Benjamin Netanyahu to win this?
Well, I think it would be a little bit, superficial for me to say what is the only way. There are a number of ways, as I mentioned earlier. There are quite a number, actually, many dozens of Israeli hostages taken by the Hamas into the Gaza Strip. We don't quite know where they are, as far as I'm aware. At least some of them will probably be placed under hospitals, which is what the terrorist group has done, which is what it won't, really. And this complicates the situation enormously. But nonetheless, we will know what to do. And I think the most important point here is that what was will not be. And that really is the most important point that one can make at this stage. There will be a strategic change here, not a tactical change, not some sort of accord. Something major will happen, which will cause an overhaul of the entire situation in the south of Israel.
What went wrong here? Israeli officials just simply didn't see this coming. It was like they were blindsided by it. How do you think this intelligence failure happened?
Well, I think it's too early to say. And right now, and as the guns are still out and about, and they will be for some time, I fear it will do the investigation after it's over. But clearly there was some sort of failure, not some sort. There was a failure of intelligence or a failure of knowledge, and that will be fully investigated when this war is behind us.
Just finally, the US has agreed to supply additional munitions to restock Israel. How far will that go?
Well, I don't know how far that'll go at this stage. I don't know how far we'll need them. But I think the Americans and I think the Australians too, the governments and the Europeans and the democratic countries of the world realize that behind this carnage, behind this attack by the organization, by the Hamas terrorist organization, as well as behind the Hezbollah in Lebanon, lies Iran, the Iranian regime. And they have just one thing on their mind, as do the Hamas and the Hezbollah, which is death, destruction, slaughter, massacre, and hatred. There is nothing else really that drives them. No thought of welfare, no thought of health or education. That's not what is pushing them along. These are jihadists in the worst sense. And the Iranian regime is steadfastly behind them, supporting them in every way. And the United States realizes that, and that's why they're talking of a deterrence factor, as we heard earlier in the earlier report. And we know that too. We've always known what the Iranian regime is about, primitive and dangerous for the stability not just of the Middle East, but of the world over. So right now, we are focusing on this war, on the wounded, on the dead. There's nobody in Israel, including myself, actually, who doesn't know somebody who was who doesn't know anyone who was killed. We all know somebody who was killed or injured or abducted, including 260, I should say, 260 youngsters in an outdoor party in the Negev, in the south of Israel, were having a party, an all-night outdoor party, and they were slaughtered, 260 of them, by the Hamas infiltrators. So this is really a carnage of the likes we've never seen before, and it will be dealt with in a strategic way, not in a tactical way of let's get this over with and move on.
Yeah, a long road to come. Mark Sofer, we do have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.